In today's chart of the day video, I look at the technicals of WTI crude oil. Not the fundamentals, just the technical analysis to give us a better picture of where it could possibly be going. Now it seems just like yesterday that we were talking negative numbers for a barrel of oil, and now look at it. Hello, I'm Stephen Hode, trader and founder of The Stock Punter. So before we can carry on, a risk warning for you to pay close attention to. The content in this video is not investment advice, so please seek the advice, help of financial professionals or financial advisors before investing and trading. And trading and investing involves a high degree of risk and your money is at risk, so be very careful. So with that out the way, let's get on with the analysis. It's the usual format for the chart of the day video. We look at line chart first, the weekly one, then we move to the high Kinashi for a more detailed daily view, and then we go to the Renko to really focus in on the price action. So let's start with the weekly line chart with the Fibonacci applied to give us some idea of key levels. Now the important point to know, I suppose, on this chart is that we're actually hitting the highs, $75 from the late part and mid part of 2018. So this is actually quite a critical point in crude oil's journey at the moment. So we could see potential retracement back to 62. Notice a lot of noise around that sort of level. If it fails to break here, and if it goes up from here, then you're starting to look at the highs of years ago, and you might even think of $100 as a target. It's amazing to think that this was in the negatives just last year. So it's been on a steady growth really since mid 2020, as you can see from that strong line, and that's for many fundamental reasons which we don't get into here. We just look at the technicals. So like I say, the big takeaway here is look at the price chart hitting those $75 highs. So moving on to the high Kinashi chart, we've got the usual tools on there. We've got our box breakout system, 200 moving average, RSI with a moving average, and a regression tool to help me determine the way of the trend. And as the line chart showed, we've had a really steady climb up in the price of crude oil for best part of 3/4 of a year. It broke away from the 44 area, those two purple lines on the chart there. It was banging around for $6 range for many months, and then it's broken out and away from the action, and since then there's nothing really been stopping it. So the takeaway from here is it's bullish in the short term at the moment. We've got the indicators telling us it's bullish. It's not quite broken out of the box yet, but if it does break out of that box, then that's going to break those new highs and the highs back from 2018. So that's quite an important breakout. So it'll be very interesting to watch that. Or will it retrace back down to those early 60s or back to the 200 moving average if it thinks it's getting a bit overheated, overbought. And the Renko chart here, I've set an aggressive block size of 50 cents per block. So that's to give me a bit more action in the shorter term, but also it does show me the long-term trend and the medium-term trends in between that. Again, usual tools that I use on the chart of the day setup. So tweak DMI below at the bottom there, regression line. We got Bollinger Bands for potential stop areas. We got a band breakout system in there, and a moving average for helping with the short-term direction. If we focus in on the short-term direction, then everything's bullish at the moment. We've broken out the bands, we're above the moving average, DMI is positive, the regression is positive, so everything's looking positive. Long-term trend looks positive. The real sticking point is those highs, $75, $76. Can it have the momentum to break it, or is that as high as it's going to go. So in the short term, you've probably got maybe another $1.50 of upside there, but there is also plenty of downside there as well, maybe $10, $12, $13 to the downside. So an interesting time in WTI crude oil. It's been up and trending massively. Can it continue? Let's summarise things then. Well, it's a tricky one really. It's hard to bet against the bullishness of there, but those serious resistance highs around 75, 76 could be the turning point for it to pull back, and there is a lot of downside risks. So I suppose the caveat there is buyer beware. The potential big downside, the stops I've used are quite spacey and give enough wriggle room, but if it does decide to come off, it can come off quickly. But overall, there is upside. If it can break through those areas, you've got a reasonable risk return to play with as well. So there you go. Crude oil, it's still on its bullish run at the moment, and hope that has given you an insight into the technical analysis. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with the analysis in the video. Where do you think crude oil is going next? Let me know also if you trade it, have you got strategies around it. Any comments very much welcome below. And if you're interested in learning more about the technical analysis I use in these videos, I'm going to put some more info and links in the description below this video. So if you've liked today's video, please give us the thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons to receive further notifications around content such as this. And all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching, good luck with the trading, and I'll see you in the next video.